Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Much peace and blessings to all you sins of Akimah that is pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Osh from the Great Millstone, Miami, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. The Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect. It's going to be a quick lesson, straight to the point, in transit. Going into not hating laborious work, okay? And this is a lesson towards younger Akim in his truth, coming from a young Ak in his truth himself, okay? I'm, been in this truth about 10 years, which is not very long, but I was about 18 when I first came into this truth, so I know what it's like coming into the truth at a very young age. I was still wet behind the ears, still green, don't really know shit about life at all. I still don't, I'm still learning, okay? At 27, my mind is just now starting to stabilize, so this is just coming from one brother to the next. I see, and it's been that way, as the scriptures say, the Lord called the young men for their strength. So when you look around, predominantly most of the men that's coming to this truth are young men, okay? As the scriptures say, the apostles were set forth last, roughly paraphrasing, as it were appointed unto death, right? So the older men, most 40, 50, 60-year-old men, Israelite men, they really grew up in, other things, being a part of different groups or organizations outside of the truth. And they believing that that's the truth, or that's their truth, whatever, like people say, which is only one truth, which is the truth that we have here at Great Millstone, okay? Because if you don't have 100% truth, you don't really have the truth, really, okay? But and of course those who teach the same doctrine. But the point of this lesson is, as a young man, the times that we're in now, growing up in Babylon the Great, we were taught that you could get rich, you could get money, you can become successful without hard work, without sweat equity, without, especially in the age now with social media and content creation. You have people becoming millionaires, like, from scratch, just at home with a camera, and if you're a brother that's into that and you can make some money doing that, I go for it. But the it's all about a mindset. You shouldn't be a brother in this truth, calling yourself a man of the Lord, calling yourself in the truth, calling yourself an Israelite, with the mindset of the same, way that people of your age group think in the world, okay? Because especially Judah here in America, and of course it's that mindset is within other tribes, but mainly Judah, right? So-called Negroes here in America, a lot of so-called young black men don't really, they're shying away from honest work, hard, grinding, having a trade or doing some heavy lifting, and when you come into this truth and you find out that you're actually royal citizen. You're a royal descendant, I should say. Okay, you actually come from a bloodline of nobility. Okay, being an Israelite. So, as the scriptures say, knowledge puffeth up. You can, and I'm not saying I haven't ever been guilty of allowing this sort of mindset to creep in, which is a very detrimental mindset, that like you're above that, you're above slavery, because that's really what we're talking about. We're speaking of slavery. You having to go work a job, that's slavery. Okay, and you come into the truth, you find out you can, if you're, let me say, if you're not guarding your mind and actually forming your mind according to the way the Lord wants it to be, you can develop that mindset, or you just carry on that mindset into the truth. Okay, and the Lord may bless you with a certain job, but it's a lot of hard work, and you despise it. Well, the scriptures say not to do that. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, also known as the book of Sirach, right? Chapter 7 and verse 15. It says, hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained. Okay, laborious work, meaning manual labor, hard work, like construction, you have different trades out there. Working hard, you gotta lift up stuff. You in the sun, it says neither husbandry, which is farming, right? You got landscaping, right? You see Issachar, which is spiritual, that they are known. Okay, they are infamously known to be hard workers. Okay, and they do all the hard, dirty jobs that nobody really want to do for less than other people would do them. And when I say other people, I mean other nations and even other Israelites from different tribes. Okay, but the Issachar in the Hebrew, Yashashkar, which means what? He is hired. All right, their spiritual sign is the ass, which is a burden, an animal of burden. Okay, that's why you look up anything with which the scriptures say that Issachar is a strong ass. That's biblical. But you look up Mexican culture, they always showing a symbol of a donkey. That's not by coincidence. That's more proof that we have the truth, right? But you see Issachar on a daily basis doing these type of jobs, landscaping and out in the sun and cutting grass, shit like that. And as a so-called black man in America, we were taught that that's like low-level shit, it is low-level shit, but the Most High ordained it, meaning the Most High set it up that way, and it goes all the way back to Adam. Okay, and that's what this scripture is referencing by saying which the Most High ordained. Okay, this is Genesis chapter 3 and 19, and this was after Adam ate of the fruit, right, that his wife gave him, which was the wisdom. I ain't gonna say wisdom, but the knowledge, as the scripture say, the knowledge of good and evil. The fruit of the tree of the knowledge and good of evil, which they didn't know evil because they never did evil. So basically what it means by they ate of the fruit, we know they partook in wickedness, they partook in evil, right? They partook in sorcery, they partook in idol worship, Okay, that's what the serpent was teaching Eve, and Eve brought it back to her husband. Okay, and then they felt the spirit leave them, and then it went downhill from there, right? But the Lord cursed Adam, right? He cursed Eve, he cursed the serpent, he said all three of y'all, right? And it's not just them, it's talking about all their descendants, right? So because of the curse the Most High put on Adam, that falls on us and everybody really, but mainly Jake, because we're even though Adam is the father of all nations, Adam came back as an Israelite, okay, which we know Adam was Yahweh Shai, right? And one of the curses the Most High put on Adam was cursing the earth. So, because we got to understand the earth was created for Adam. Okay. The Most High gave him dominion over the earth. He was basically the king of the world. And when he sinned and went off, one of the punishments the Lord gave him was punishing his kingdom, which was the earth. He got pushed out of the garden, right? And when you read the scriptures, before that, the earth was in total harmony, pure harmony. It was like a utopia. You think of the best way the earth could function. That's how it was. And it tell you the plants and the trees, the fruit, it would just come out. You didn't have to basically farm. It just, you just picking fruit. You didn't have to plant seeds and trim and do none of that. Okay? So Adam got to enjoy all of that, and after he sinned, you have this curse, which is Genesis chapter 3 and 19. It says, "In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread." So that's where you get the saying, if you don't work, you don't eat. That goes back to Adam. Okay? Because how do you get bread? From flour. How do you get flour? From wheat or barley or whatever grain you plant, but it comes from a seed that you have to plant. Right? And that's bread. What about the fruits? And when you really get down to the nitty gritty, a lot of, brothers and people, we talk about fruit, how healthy fruit is, and we love fruit. Fruit is good for you. Not saying that it's not, but you got to understand, before Esau came into power and the Most High, upgraded his wisdom to where he have this technology, and farming was revolutionized. Okay, back in the ancient world, you couldn't just go to the grocery store and get a bunch of fruit. Wherever you go, it's just fruit everywhere. Okay, unless you was on some tropical island where fruit, just grows. In the ancient world, it wasn't like that. Of course, you had certain fruits like dates and figs and stuff that would grow in season, though. Now you go to the grocery store, there's fruit there that you can find all year round. It was never like that in the ancient world. Most fruits that you find in the grocery store wouldn't even be nowhere near where you lived at, and you wouldn't be able to get them. You wouldn't even know they exist. Okay, I remember when I was like in elementary school. I remember I was in elementary school, right? It's just one example. I was reading this book, and it's supposed to be a historical book, right? But they was talking about orange. Like, you had one person talking about an orange, and they were like that's a myth. Like, there's no such thing as an orange. You talking about something that's sweet and juicy, and you can just cut it, because most of the fruit that you eat, it was just what was local to you. Most of these fruits that we get in the grocery store, is totally exotic and foreign to where you live. And if it wasn't for modern day industry and export import technology and different advancements in farming, right, you would never see most of the fruit you eat. So you know, most when you read the scriptures, a lot of the plant food, mostly it was bread from flour, from from wheat, barley, right, corn, right, these type of grains, which you would have to, in order to get enough of that, to get flour to make bread for everybody to eat, you need fields of acres and acres and acres of that shit. So that's a lot of work. You feel me? And you gotta remember, this was before people were eating meat. Okay, so Adam had to work hard to eat, and that was from that time on all the way today. But again, we grew up with so much comfort, and here in Babylon the Great, the scriptures say they live deliciously, right? And we got a taste of that here, just being here, which can put you in a lazy spirit. That's why you'll see different tribes come from other countries, and they willing to do the jobs that the people that grew up here not willing to do, because they think they deserve better than that, right? Which again, we shouldn't have that spirit. Why? Because again, the Most High ordained it. Genesis 3:19, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground, for out of it was thou taken, and Salakia, for out of it thou was taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. So there's no getting around it. Okay? The Lord set it up so that we supposed to work hard. Not saying that if you got some type of office job or whatever, you don't work hard, or that's bad or nothing like that, right? You still gotta work hard. Whatever it is you do, you gotta work hard. But it's just a message to who it may concern. Just putting that out there. Okay. And Lord willing, those that are fine. That's all I really wanted to say. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.